Ooh, look at that. Could not be more on time tonight, guys. We're just waiting for 10 o'clock to come along then. I was like, bang, broadcast. Good evening. Taniqua is here. Anna Parr is here. Everybody's just going to pile in. Going to let everybody kind of join for a few minutes. Good evening, folks. If you're in the UK, if you're in America, it's going to be like good afternoon or whatever time it is where you are at. For those who haven't got a clue who I am, my name's Ross. I'm an actor, the hipster's here. I'm a voiceover artist as well from Manchester here in the UK, and I scope twice a week. Once on a Monday night, which is tonight, where we're doing something called Motivation and Mind Hacks. Hello, Anna. And then once on a Wednesday night, where I do a book club. This week's book, that actually we're not going to be doing on Wednesday, because I'm going to film an interview with somebody, so we have to like rearrange this. But this week's book, for when we do it, Good Evening Nina, is The Happiness Advantage by Sean Aker. Helen Power, she's got the power. Always do that every time Helen joins. It's not been on for a while, Helen, but good evening. Yeah, so that's going to be the book club for this week. Well, for this month, we've already done 2 or 3 of those. Evening Hipster, yeah, if you want to go and watch any of the replays, Warren, good evening as well. Get yourself over to a website that I run. It's a website that's primarily for actors, but you know what? All of this Periscope stuff that we do, the motivation and mind hacks from tonight, is applicable to everybody, no matter what walk of life you are from. And I think you're going to find it useful. Get over to actonthis.tv, that's the website, and then also come and join the Facebook group, particularly if you are an actor. The Facebook group is rocking. We're about 30 members off 2,000 actors strong now, so please invite your friends as well. Share this scope, by the way, guys, as well. Share it on Twitter. I think you can do that just from the app now, and Facebook. You swipe up or down or left or right, depending on what device you're on. But do it, share it, I'd appreciate it, because what we're going to talk about tonight, it's just really interesting, you know. It's not going to be a long scope tonight. This is just something that that I've noticed over the last like 2 years of my life. I've noticed myself doing this, and I've not had a clue why I've been doing it until I thought about it today, researched it, and now I've got the answer. And it's all about creativity, upping your creative game. Give me some examples. Where do you guys go to when you need to kind of get creative? Because sometimes for me, so I sit in front of, like, I've got my iPad here that I'm periscoping on at the moment. Got my MacBook here, studio lights up there. I record a lot of videos in here, Periscope from here, Facebook Live from here. Facebook Live was pretty cool on Friday night for those in the Facebook group. A few technical things to iron out, but I was pretty happy with doing some Facebook Live from my Mac with some slides and stuff. Going to do that more often, but it means I spend a load of time in here, and sometimes I've got to get out. Where do you guys go? Give me some comments. Where do you guys go when you need to get creative? You need to, you know, kind of get the creative juices flowing. If you're getting a little bit stagnated when you are just stuck at home, or maybe you're stuck in an office, stuck in the same 4 walls all day. Because I think it's really important. There's one particular place that I found myself going to consistently for years, and it's worked for me, and I never even thought that I was doing it or even thought about why. But have a guess where that is, or let me know where you go to kind of get your creative juices flowing. Maybe you go for a walk somewhere, you get out in nature. Gym for Nina. Gym's a good one, Nina, absolutely. That's I spend a bit of time in the gym every day. It's something that I'm kind of big on. Changed my routine up though. I've been going to the gym now at 6:45 AM instead of like 6 PM. Done it for 2 weeks now. Jennifer, good evening. And that's making Periscopes at 10 PM a little bit harder. Maybe we'll move these till 9 PM. How are we doing? JPKK Pod is in the house. How are we doing? He's here. Christos Lib is here as well. Good evening. So yeah, I think was that Patrick who joined? Let us know. Was that Chris as well? Chris Stone's here. Don't know if that's spelled correctly. I missed your comment, Anna. Very good, great work. Pleasure. Thank you for joining us. I think Chris Stone Films here as well. Pat's here. It is Patrick. Good evening, Patrick. He's made it. Don't know what happened to Facebook Live on Friday night, mate. We were streaming, but you weren't seeing it. But we'll be doing that more often. So yeah, join us for the next one. So yeah, so where do you guys go to get creative? Chris Stone Films, you've just joined. Where do you go if you want to get creative? That's what we're talking about tonight. And I've got some science, because you know I love the science. Everything's got to be proven to me. All the positive psychology I do is all science backed. I'm going to give you some science behind a particular environment you can go to really up your game. Bit of 5 rhythms for you, Anna. I did 5 rhythms at uni, a lot of dancing and stuff like that. Maybe that gets your creativity flowing. But there's a particular environment for me that is magic, and I'm going to explain to you guys why, so that maybe you won't feel as guilty if you go there. It's not a lap dancing bar or anything like that. Don't worry about that. But a lot of people will be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go and hang out in this kind of place. Warren doesn't really have a place to go. Well, Warren, I'm going to give you a place to go. Creative, needed it for my showreel content, stuck at the moment. Okay, well this would be a good place, definitely, Patrick, for you to go hang out, to get your showreel kind of ideas flowing. Definitely take your laptop with you, take a notepad or whatever, get some ideas down. This is, guys, scientifically tonight, why your creative mind works best in the coffee shop. Now I know that's going to sound weird and it's going to sound mental, but I'm going to explain to you exactly why this is the case. And for those who haven't got a clue what this symbol is here, Bulletproof Actor, I know it's not Act on This, this is a sister site of Act on This that I run called Bulletproof Actor. It's all about mindset. I run a program twice a year called Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success. It's going to be opening for the second time and final time this year in August, so check out bulletproofactor.com if you want to find out more. Is that because mixture of people using it? Well, it is, but we're gonna get 3 scientific reasons why it's a good idea if you are stuck in a rut and you're procrastinating and you've got something that you need finishing. Who put your hand up? Well, give me some hearts on the screen. Patrick, if you use the Periscope, you can tap the screen to give hearts. You can give like a few hearts with one finger, but I like people to just go mental. 5 all over the screen. Yeah, give me some hearts if you can get to the finishing stage on a lot of tasks, but you very rarely get to the completion stage. So you're like, you know what, I've gone through this course, or I've gone through this workbook, or I've gone through, you know, whatever it is that I'm doing, and you're in the finishing stage, you've almost done it, but you're one of those people who's like, you know what, I just never seem to complete anything. I get to the finishing stage, but I don't complete it. So I can't fully kind of tick it off, and you end up with a load of things just lingering on your to-do list. It might be DIY, it could be like a script writing. Vishal, good evening, great to see you. It could be anything like that, because a lot of people struggle with that, and this is a great environment to go to if you need to finish off something that's in the finishing stage and you want to complete it. So, slide number 1, this is why you need to get yourself down to Costa or Starbucks or Nero or support your local coffee shop tomorrow, why you should do it. Ross, I've got some great advice from my old acting tutor, Dan Dressner. He is quality. Well, share it in the Facebook group, Patrick, definitely. So, number 1, guys, okay, silence sharpens focus, but ambient noise boosts creativity. So there's a big difference here. I want you to understand this. We're not talking about focus here, we're talking about creativity. So you may already be aware that working in silent environments helps you focus. I mean, that's without a doubt the case, okay? When you're in the midst of complicated problem solving or performing fine detailed work, one annoying noise is enough to break your concentration. For me, there's a dog in the neighbourhood that just yaps and yaps and yaps. And if I'm trying to get something done, even just one bark can do my head in. However, when it comes to creative thinking, which is very different, ambient noise has been seen to improve creativity, specifically the typical coffee shop ambient noise of 70 decibels. This is where I'm getting specific on the science, right? 70 decibels was seen to be optimum, whereas quieter than 50 decibels and louder than 85 caused creativity to drop off. So it's believed that this level of moderate ambient noise is just enough to distract us, allowing us to think outside the box. This helps to broaden thinking and lends itself to the discovery of new ideas. Classical music, studying tempo, says Patrick. Yeah, well, that's an interesting one. Definitely the tempo of the ambience as well. I've not gone that deep, but yeah, just in terms of the actual noises, so 70 decibels is like spot on. Was this a survey done by Starbucks? No, it wasn't. But if you download the PDF document, which you'll be able to get on the replay on actsonthis.tv tomorrow, I link to the studies. There's 5 or 6 studies that I've read today that have gone into this, of where they have tested people doing creative tasks with various noises. They had things like roadworks, they had coffee shops, they had office noise, shopping centre noises, that kind of stuff, and they were testing people on how quickly they could do a creative task, how correctly they could do a creative task. They did a lot of word association stuff as well. and they found, yeah, that coffee shop ambience is like absolutely spot on. I mean, how many people, when you go into a coffee shop without realizing it, you know, have got their MacBooks out, they're doing creative work, people are going in there to write. I've seen people hold job interviews in there because they might get more creative answers out of people. But I, for years, have been going in Starbucks. You know, I'm a big fan of coffee. I'm not drinking it now. I normally do have it on a Periscope, but I'm now getting up early to go to the gym, so I don't have it in the evening now because I just can't sleep. But I've been just drawn to Starbucks, Costa, all these other shops, other high street stores are available, and I didn't know why. But I would get in there and I'd have some of my most creative business ideas, some of the most creative marketing ideas. I'd create pictures and stuff, you know, that I'd put out on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and the Facebook group and all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't until today that I looked into this that I realised why I was obviously going there. So slide number 2, dynamic environments stimulate creativity. Very interesting, like the idea, says Patrick. It is interesting, isn't it? It's just, you know, I know it's, you know, a bit of a weird topic, but it is a, what would you say is focus task and a creative task? Okay, so a focus task, Chris, I would say in my work would be accounting, would be doing my tax, things that require definitive answers, an answer that could be correct or incorrect, a bit like a maths exam, I guess. You can either be right or you can be wrong. A creative process would be script writing, it might be movie editing, it could be writing emails, you know, to casting directors or to agents where you've got to get a little bit creative. It might be doing social media marketing, my own branding as an actor, graphic design, anything that there isn't a right or a wrong answer, it's creative. Whereas if I was going to go and add up my yearly tax and see how much I owe the inland revenue, I'm going to need silence and focus for that because I could screw that up big time. Go to prison. Not that I earn enough money to avoid tax like that. I wish I did. But yeah, so that would be the difference. Hope you get that between focused and creative. So a dynamic environment, as in one that's forever changing, stimulates creativity. Now that's obviously a you know, a coffee shop is forever changing as people come in and out. So we've got here, ever noticed how creativity dries up if you remain in the same environment or routine for too long? I've noticed that sitting at this desk for too many days at a time. Sometimes I've just got to get out. So only when you break the cycle or change your environment that the bolt of creativity strikes. The mind is naturally inclined to tune out repeat input while remaining receptive to new information. So by moving from a static environment to a dynamic one, you actually flood the mind with new inputs and stimulate creativity. So visiting a cafe is a great way, you know, for firing up inspiration as you watch new faces and interactions happening around you. Low-level distractions from the bustle of others actually helps fuel creative thoughts, whereas the silence and solitude of home or the office, they often push us to non-creative procrastination. That's where you just sit there, you don't really do anything. You tire easily stuck in a chair at home, says Patrick. Yeah, you do. Definitely. How many times have you sat down to do a task, you know, and maybe you've been at home doing housework all day, you might have been doing phone calls and stuff, and then you're going, right, okay, now I've got to be creative, and you just sat in the same place. You just do procrastinate, don't you? There's days like that where you end up just, you know, looking at what you've got to write down. You've got to write something, and then you're like, oh, I'm just going to have a look at a cat video on Facebook instead for 10 minutes. And then before you know it, that 10 minutes is half an hour. Then you're hungry and you go and eat, and it's like, oh, I'll do it after lunch. Before you know it, like 3 or 4 hours have gone past, and you could have had your task finished, but you just weren't in the right environment for creativity. You might have been in the right environment for focused work, where it's silent, no one around you, but you're not in the right environment of that 70 decibels and a dynamic environment, which is going to breed creativity within you. So the last thing that I want to look at that you get in a coffee shop is to do with the lighting and the ambience with the lighting. So dim lighting liberates the mind. Now again, the studies, you can see how this is underlined here. This is actually a link on the PDF document that you'll be able to download from the website tomorrow, and you can go and actually you can have a look at this. But yet again, absolute focus and free-flowing creativity are set at odds. So with focus, brighter lighting is what favours focus-based tasks, but research has shown that dimmer lighting actually boosts creativity. So if you're doing your accounts, get your big light on. If you're doing something creative, dim the lights, okay? The most curious thing is creativity in these experiments was seen to increase across 6 separate studies, even without conscious recognition of this change. So they weren't even kind of going, well, we're going to change the lighting on purpose. They only realised afterwards that this had happened. It's believed dimmer environments make us feel free to explore and take risks, which is crazy, isn't it? Risks without judgment. It's so powerful that even recalling an experience of darkness can have similar creativity boosting effects. So if your creative workspace is bright, dimming the lights to create a more ambient environment will be very beneficial for you. So if you've got a dimmer switch on your lights, I mean, God, I'm sweating under these lights. I've just got like fluorescent lights, massive floodlights on right now. You know, this is just super bright. But yeah, if I wanted to get a bit more creative, I could just turn the lights down a little bit. So that was what I was looking at today, guys. I've not realised until today why. And this came about because I was sat in Costa Coffee today, writing some questions up for an interview I'm doing on Wednesday night. I'm interviewing the leading actress BAFTA nominee, a great actress called Ruth Madeley. I'm doing an act on this TV episode, a TV interview with her that will be available online next week. We're filming it on Wednesday evening at Media City UK in Manchester. And I had to write some questions up for Ruth, and I'd been here, just wasn't kind of feeling it at all. I went, you know what, I'm going to have a walk. It's been nice, it's sunshine today. I'm going to walk into the town, and I'm going to take my laptop, I'm going to sit and I'm going to write the questions out. And it was so much easier in the coffee shop. And it wasn't until I went, why is this easier? And I started Googling it and researching it that I found this stuff out. Big shout out to an author called Joe Summers, who I read a lot of this work comes from, I think it's Joseph Summers, so it's a guy, Joseph Summers, who published a lot of this stuff on a website called Lifehack, which is a great website. But yeah, it wasn't until I started reading this that I was like, wow, I didn't realise all these years why I've been so drawn to the coffee shop. It's because it works. It's because it works, and those things are that make us more creative. The lighting, it's the dynamic sense of the environment, the fact that it's forever changing, there's more things to see and to stimulate you, and it's the fact that silence is only appropriate for focus work, whereas that 70 decibels is way more appropriate for creativity. Now, get this down, write this down. Well, this is the thing, so Patrick's saying that he's going to try this tomorrow. Definitely do. But if it's not really appropriate for you, or you've got kids and you can't get out of the house necessarily, I know, Anna, you've got kids and stuff, I found a great app. There's an ingenious app that you can get for free called Tivity, which is amazing, okay? So you can download this on your phone, or you can get it on the website, Tivity. You get it from www.coffeetivity.com. And it's amazing because it's coffee shop ambience that you can play either from your phone or your laptop or your computer, wherever you are, and it just mimics all the sounds, all the bustle of the coffee shop. So you don't, get yourself a brew, because caffeine's a stimulant, isn't it? Caffeine always perks me up. I love it. Have a coffee when you're feeling creative. Get Tivity on, and then it's going to give you all the benefits. Dim the lights a little bit if you can, or close the curtains, if you've got daylight or whatever. But there's the website address again, coffeetivity.com. Get it, and I'd love you to give me some feedback. If you do this over the next couple of days, let me know if you think it's pretty cool. It's something that I'm fascinated by. It absolutely has worked for me. Look at that, Patrick's on it straight away. He's just downloaded it straight away. That's what I like to see, taking massive action. So yeah, let us know what you think. But I mean, what do you think? Give me some feedback now. Is it something you're going to try? Do you think I'm crazy? Has it ever struck you that you've found yourself gravitating towards, the local Starbucks or something like that without realising that's why you were doing it? Do you find yourself just sat out in public sometimes, people watching, and that has the same effect on you? Because sometimes I do that as well. If I'm just, if I just need time to think. Chris says he's excited now. Excellent, Chris. Well, that's the whole point of these Periscopes, to get people excited about being more productive, being more creative, being more motivated, more inspired, getting more done. Ultimately, yeah, it's all about getting shit done. Definitely. As the poster there says, a little bit rude, but it is after the watershed. optimism, pessimism, F that, we're going to make it happen. Simple as that. We just go and make it happen, guys. That's the difference. So if you've enjoyed this, definitely share it with your friends. Let them know as well. Warren says, I'm going to play Tivity to my flatmate while she is washing up. Yeah, so it'll be a very creative washing up session, Warren. Definitely. I love that. Ross, being a border force officer, people watching was a must. Wow, border force. Amazing. So Patrick, what's moved you out of border force to acting then? Because that's a bit of a move. And when did you do that? Was that just something that you decided one day, or was it a plan all your life? You wanted to do it, but you never, maybe you never had the courage to step up and give it a go. Because that's a big shift. But yeah, fair play. I imagine border force is quite a taxing job. A big move last year after working as an extra. Wow, brilliant. Well, it's amazing. That's amazing. So maybe you found your purpose, Patrick, which is what I am massive on helping people find as well. I think there's a big difference between your passion and your purpose. I think sometimes people get the two mixed up, and they can be. I think passion's dangerous. Passion is an extreme emotion, isn't it? So lust is a passion. It can get people in a lot of trouble. Whereas your purpose in life is very, very different. And sometimes what you're passionate about isn't necessarily going to turn into a long-term kind of career or something for you. So if acting is your purpose and you finally found it, doesn't matter what age you are, what jobs you've done before, you crack on, mate. And anything we can do to help in the acting community. Post any questions in the Facebook group. Tweet me. My Twitter is @RossAGrant, exactly the same as it is for Periscope here. Same for all social media, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, same across the board. But yeah, if you're only just getting into it and you're only a year in, then I'm big on mastermind groups, use the group. There's 2,000 actors there. The cumulative knowledge is going to be huge. As I learned today, not seeking fame but working in a job you love is everything. Exactly. I get energized by people, says Jem. Practically live in coffee shops. Creativity equals added benefit. Boom, I love it. It's good, isn't it? Honestly, it really is good. It just excited me because it confirmed what I didn't already know. I just knew that I would go to coffee shops and I'd get a lot of work done. And then today, researching it, I went, wow, there's actually some science behind why I'm finding this easier. Anna's looking for flexible work that I can fit around my purpose but not feeling inspired. It's a tricky one, that, Anna, isn't it? Particularly if you've got kids and stuff, because I guess your flexibility is only, you're only so flexible with times on that. You've posted in the Facebook group, so haven't you? I've seen you get a few answers back. It'd be interesting, yeah, if anybody's got anyone's watching this on the replay, please go in the Facebook group, look for Anna Parr, P-A-R-R, and if you've got any suggestions and stuff for flexible work that's worked for you if you've got kids, then definitely let Anna know. She's got a thread in there at the moment where she's been asking for suggestions. Ross, finding the balance being an actor and another job is very difficult. It is initially. It is absolutely, Patrick, and that's why a lot of people quit and they can't hack it, because it's much easier to go and do something that's very average. Acting is a career it requires an absolute shed load of dedication. In the early days, it took me 10 years. I had an interview for running kids parties at the weekends, pays pretty well. Kids parties with Warren and Anna. It took me 10 years, Patrick. I worked in retail for a decade on minimum wage in a shop whilst working, in tiny little bits as an actor here or there, whilst getting myself established. And finally did. It took a while, but now I act full time. I do voiceovers full time. This is very much full time of kind of what I do, creating stuff all the time. And there's a lot of things that I learned over that decade, that if I went back, I could probably achieve what I'd done much quicker. So if you've got any questions about anything, like I say, ask me, because there's a lot of mistakes that I made over that 10 years. And one of them was hanging in there too long. I'll tell you that. I'm not telling everybody at all to jump ship and just go, I'm just gonna quit my job right now and I have no backup. Don't do that. But definitely start, at least, even if you're doing a full-time 40-hour-a-week job, put at least just 1 hour, one focused hour every single day. That's 7 hours a week, 28 hours a month. It's a huge amount of time into figuring out and investing in your acting career and try and, you know, step inch by inch to climb out of that day job, of that ordinary, you know, very average thing that you're doing, in order to, you know, climb into something that's more connected, more to do with what you want to do. It might be a job, you know, that's not just acting, but it's, you know, it's very much in the industry. It could be working as, you know, in casting. It could be working as a runner on a show to gain experience. There's a lot that you can do that's not necessarily just being an actor in order to gain the experience needed that's going to make you a better actor. I say all the time, every part of your life affects every part of your life. So sometimes people feel if they're not going to acting class, they're not working on themselves as an actor. And I'm telling you, even if you're going and doing a border patrol job, border force, Patrick, you're working on yourself as an actor even when you're doing border force, because you're having experiences every single day that me, as someone who's just working in acting, isn't having. So if a job comes up that requires border force knowledge, who's going to be playing it more authentically, you or me? You, massively. So every experience you have in your life affects every part of your life. So I don't want anybody feeling that they're, you know, they're getting rusty or not working on themselves as an actor if they're doing anything that isn't acting, because you are. All we have as actors is life experience, and if you can become a better rounded person, more emotionally available because you've been through more, you know, more situations, you're going to be able to bring that to your work. It's so important. The dullest actors I meet are the ones who went to drama school, left, and all they've done is act. They have no personality. Effectively took 4 months off, but now going to go back part-time. Awesome. But yeah, as long as you're working at least one focused hour a day on your acting career, whatever that is, whether that's researching casting directors, maybe it's watching a show, it doesn't all have to be, you know, it can be pleasurable, maybe it's watching some actors, some great actors work. 4 months off at 50 to go to drama school. Wow, I mean, that's amazing. Some of the most interesting people. I've got friends, and I pride myself on having an eclectic circle of friends who are all great. Some of my most interesting friends are like in their mid-70s. Equally, I've got some amazing friends who are like 18, 19. I'm 34 this year. But you can learn so much from people who are older than you, but equally, don't forget, you can learn so much from people younger than you as well. I think we can get caught up in that by going, these youngsters, they think they know it all. And I definitely used to think I knew it all, and now I realise I knew nothing, but I still had experiences to offer older people when it came to stuff like technology, you know, kind of just modern day kind of stuff that older people, you know, weren't brought up with. Equally, they could give me so much life experience that I just could never have possibly lived at that age. So we've all got something to offer. So in the Facebook group, that's what I love about it all. If you imagine what each person is a battery, you each have a finite output as a battery cell, don't you? But when you all come together, everybody gets the benefit of everybody's output. So we're effectively 2,000 minds strong, as opposed to a lot of actors who want to do it all on their own, and they hoard information, they don't share stuff, they don't celebrate in other people's wins. They're just not nice people. We can benefit from all of our cumulative experience. What were you saying, taking a break? I feel I'm an actor who's only doing acting. Well, it depends what you mean. I don't think it depends. Do you know what? It's absolutely up to you, Chris, in terms of how long that is. If you want to go and get some more life experience, you know, definitely have a couple of, you know, it depends what you mean, a couple of weeks off, a couple of months off. But the more enriched I think you can be as a person, for me, just the more emotionally available I am. And that's really kind of the core of what you've got as an actor, is your emotional availability. You know, some of the most interesting actors I know have had some of the most tragic past, and I'm certainly not saying go and have something tragic happen to you. Definitely not. I don't wish that on anybody. But they've had a lot of experience. I fear that if I break, I will lose momentum that I currently have. Don't do it then. If you need, you know, if you're on a roll, sometimes life deals you breaks organically. So if you're currently, you know, you feel that you're on a roll, you've got your momentum up, you know, and you're gathering pace, you want to keep that. Definitely don't stop that for no reason, unless there was a very good reason to do it. I feel sometimes, you know, particularly just life in the industry will deal you an organic break sometimes. Life experience spot on with parts such as the dad short of money with 3 kids, for example. Yeah, absolutely. You know, honestly, I remember that I'm 34 now. 2 or 3 years ago, I started being invited in for young dad roles. I shit my pants because I'm not a dad in real life. I've got a nephew, but I'm quite awkward with kids. So like, I'm like the joker, like entertainer, kind of clown around the kids. I'm not the father type, I'll look after you. I'm the type who kind of gets the kids into kind of bit of mischief, and we climb trees and break things. So when they're asking me to come in and, you know, play the fatherly figure, just like, I'm totally out of my depth here. That's something that when I've been through that situation in real life, I'm going to be able to bring to the table and you know, and play with some authenticity and some credibility, and not feel like I'm, you know, a bit of an imposter when it comes to that. So it definitely comes with, you know, with experience. My last audition was a mum role. Perfect, Anna. She says perfect. Yeah, it was. That'll be perfect for you. Definitely, because you're going to be able to, you know, bring stuff to that role that no one can if they've not had that experience. 44, single mum to teenager, and it's been a journey. My emotional life is very rich, says Jen. I bet it is, Jen, but embrace that. Celebrate it. Warren's been through the dad thing too. He's probably scared him as well. Yeah, it's scary, Warren, isn't it? When you're asked to play it and you're not a dad. Definitely. But this is what makes us all so unique and so human. And it still blows my mind every single time when I think that literally, you know, what we're made of, this stuff, our DNA, you know, I'm big on science, so at a genome level, when it comes to your chromosomes, or at a exome level, you know, your DNA it's never existed on this planet before. Your DNA, neither is mine. And when we die, it will never, ever, ever exist again. And it's like, you know, you've got to kind of just appreciate that. It'll blow your mind, but just go, what am I going to do? How am I going to use this? It's so ridiculously unique whilst I have the opportunity to. And sometimes every situation that happens to you in your life is neutral. And that might sound a bit crazy, but even the worst things in your life are neutral events. The best things in your life are neutral events. They only become different when you apply a meaning to it. So if you break up with your partner, that's a neutral event. It only becomes a negative event when you put bitterness on that, or you resent that, or you're like, oh, well, they're just a cheater. All the people of the opposite sex are cheaters, or whatever, you know, whatever sexuality you are. You know, all guys are cheaters, all girls are cheaters. And you're just putting that on it. It's a neutral event until you put your thoughts onto it. So all the experiences that you've had, Jen, a situation with my son was mirrored with a situation in a part I recently played. Such a gift. Well, exactly, look at that. I was just about to say, if you relabel these tragedies as gifts, you win all that power back. And that power, you know, power is absolutely yours when you realise that even in the darkest of dark times, that, you know, you are dealt positives from that place. You know, you grow stronger through that. You realise things about yourself. You learn things about life, people, the environment around you, and you can bring all that to your job. What other career could you go into? If you're a plumber, you can't really use that in your career, can you? In our career, we get to use everything, whether it's good or bad, to improve our performances, which is a gift in itself. Ross, some kids just can't method act because of lack of life experience. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Anna says, my dad's death gave me the kick up the arse to get into acting. Absolutely, yeah, I lost my old man when I was 24. He just died of a heart attack overnight. Big shock to the system. He was just 60 years old. I was 24 at the time, and I thought, wow, well, you know, I'm hoping to live to a lot longer than 60, but if I only had 60 in me, nearly halfway through my life, that was a big shock to me and a big kick up my backside as well, Anna, definitely. So I'm with you on that. Gutting at that age, says Patrick. Yeah, it's tough, it is tough, but equally, it's only tough if I put the label of tragedy on it. I can celebrate the fact to go, you know, I had 24 great years with my old man, and I learned loads off him. He was a really good guy, got loads of fond memories. Thus, it's not that tough. It's, you know, it was at the time, but now it's just a celebration of his life, really. And we have a good laugh at him, good laugh about him, good laugh with him, and it's all good. But I could go through my life labelling that as a tragedy, and it would affect me every time I think of it. If I label it as a gift and look at all the things that I got from that situation, you know, you win, don't you? So that's ultimately it. So we've gone off on a bit of a crazy little tangent there after the coffee shop analysis. But yeah, give us your feedback over the next couple of days in the Facebook group. My dad was amazing, best sense of humour I know. See it in Alfie. So you see it in your son Alfie, Anna. That's brilliant. But yeah, Patrick says my fault going off on a tangent. No, we do it all the time, Patrick. Honestly, seriously, we always go off on one. But yeah, tonight that was, guys, why your creative mind works best in the coffee shop. So definitely give us your feedback. Jen says looking forward to the London meetup on Sunday in a coffee shop. Absolutely. So thank you, Jen and Warren. Saturday. Oh, Warren says it's Saturday. It's Saturday, Jen. In Foyles. If you in London. If you go to the Facebook group and have a look in the events tab, Warren's Jen, he set it up. Thank you, Warren, for doing that. And then we've got our Manchester meetup on the first Saturday of next month. I think it's the 6th of August. So whether you're in London or you're in Manchester, come and meet the Act on This community in person. It's so great when you meet people who you've only known as text on a screen and a little avatar, a little headshot. It's brilliant when you actually meet these people in real life. So yeah, do get involved with that. And like I say, if you're not part of the Facebook group yet, what are you doing? Facebook.com /groups/Act on This TV. Come and join. Not Birmingham, Manchester is good. Yeah, we just do Manchester and London. Maybe we could have like a Midlands meetup or something. Maybe if you're in the Midlands, Patrick, maybe you want to do a Midlands meetup for us. But if you can get to Manchester, it's not too far, is it, from Birmingham? Yeah, we do the Manchester ones first Saturday of every month. Man United is Patrick's club, my club as well. Excellent work. Then yeah, get yourself over to Manchester or the London one with Warren and Jem. Awesome. So I'll leave you with that, guys. Tweet me at Ross A. Grant at Act on This TV as well. Chris is a Man U fan as well. Excellent work, Chris. And let us know if you do get yourself into a coffee shop this week and your creativity is boosted. I'd love to know give me some empirical evidence. Let me know that it's that it's not just me. I'm sure it is I'm sure it's true. Definitely, I definitely feel it in there. Warren says thanks, Ross. Sleep well, everyone. Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Wednesday night for book club. We normally do book club on Wednesday. I'm going to be in Media City interviewing Ruth Madeley for Act on This TV for the second episode. So I'm not going to be here, guys. So I'm not going to be doing book club on Wednesday. I will try and get it in Thursday, or if not, we're just going to have to put it off for a week because I've still got to record the podcast for the Friday. I've got stuff planned for every kind of single day for Act on This, so it's going to be difficult to kind of squeeze it in, I think. But if you've not got the book yet, The Happiness Advantage, Sean Aker, get it. It's brilliant. It's really very, very good. And in the Facebook group, I think Fanny's put a PDF link to a free copy of it, actually, a free version of it. It's in PDF format. So get that in the Facebook group. Have a little search for it. Hipster says thank you. Have a good gym session in the morning. Night, everyone. I will do, Hipster. Thank you very much. What was the app again? So the app, quickly, Chris, was Tivity, spelled like this. Yeah, coffeetivity.com. You can get it. I'm sure it's absolutely free. I looked at it on the desktop version before, and I could just play it on my desktop and it didn't cost anything. Maybe it's probably free for your iPod and your iPad and your iPhone. But check it out. You'll get all the details on coffeetivity.com. Awesome. Right, guys, have a good one. I'll probably do a little Facebook Live video on the way in for the gym tomorrow, and I will see you there. See if I can end this without breaking my iPad. Wipe down. There we go. Awesome. Have a great one, guys. Bye for now.